Good morning, everyone, again. So welcome to 2018 Youth of the Year Judging Day. Very exciting. All right, we're going to start. And so the first person to come up is Jesse Rascon. Jesse is representing Boys and Girls Clubs of Weld County in Greeley, Colorado. Come on up, Jess. Give him a round, come on.
It's only a dream until you go do it. While others wait, winners create their fate. Attempting this may feel uncomfortable, but only because it is uncommon to follow your dreams, or so you think. My name is Jesse Rascon, I'm 18 years old, and I'm a senior at Greeley Central High School. My life experience up to this point in my life has been very positive and blessed one. I come from the American dream, where the melting pot concept applies to my life. My mother is a Caucasian woman who comes from Iowa, and on the other side of the spectrum is my father, who comes from Chihuahua, Mexico. Was it a challenge for my parents and I to be a mixed family? Was it challenging trying to fit in with the white kids and Mexican kids? Absolutely. One of my favorite quotes is from the movie Selena, where her father says something along the lines of, "You have to be more Mexican than the Mexicans. You have to be more American than Americans. It's exhausting." But the great thing about my family is that they didn't choose to focus on the negative. Instead, they decided to focus all their attention on working hard and teaching their son great values, like hard work, dedication, family, and perseverance. And that's what I want people to understand, that the melting pot concept isn't dead. It's very much alive. I took these values and mindset with me when I started Chain Club. When I first started Chain Club, I was recruited by my friend Arnulfo, who I played basketball with. The first staff I met was Pedro. He was pretty intimidating, but he challenged me and told me he wanted me to play in the basketball team at club. He opened the gym for me on a daily basis, and I spent hours shooting and getting better. Because him and his staff named Gavin told me I can talk all I want about being good, but if I don't put in the work, that's all it is, just talking. As the next few years at club went by, I started getting involved in programs like Keystone. I am now the vice president. I now see why Gavin and Pedro are so smart. Those two tricked me. The whole basketball thing, it was just a facade. It's okay though. Because of club, it's helped me focus on my vision for our youth. My vision is to educate our generation about the melting pot concept in our country. With all the struggle we're facing as a country, I want people to know that we as a country are not hopeless. That America's not a place or a land, but a people. What makes this country so great is that we're able to share all our different ideals and cultures with each other. I'm Jesse Rascon, and I'm here to tell you our generation isn't done fighting. Our country may be in disarray, but we can still unite as one. I mean, hey, even the little kids at club coexist with each other. Why not model after them in society?
All right, judges, put down some notes. And next up is Adrian Raya. And Adrian is from Boys and Girls Clubs of San Luis Valley in Alamosa. Give him a round. Come on.
They say our dreams tell us about who we are at the core and who we might be if we live up to our potential. Good evening. My name is Adrian Raya, and I'm going to share with you a little bit about my hopes and dreams for youth in the world today. But first, I would like to thank God for allowing me to be here and for allowing me to share my vision with you all. The Boys and Girls Club of San Luis Valley has given me a glimpse of the diversities that are within our community. The diversities between BGC and school life. It's like stepping into different worlds, each world being different from each other. The diversities between BG and school life, the diversity in one, a place where you're discouraged, unwanted, or even bullied. A place where peer pressure exists and we can easily fall into cliques. In the other, a place to go in need, a place to be yourself without the judgment of others, a place where you are free to express our ideas and creativity. The BGC is this world, while the other, not so much. I may not be able to change the whole world, but I can change the world I live in. Dreams come at a price. You must be determined to achieve and work hard for it. For any dream, big or small, there will be the obstacles you face, the doubters you meet, the mistakes you make, all trying to stop you from reaching and achieving your dream. These small details are the prices you pay for the dreams you accomplish. In the end, it'll all be worth it. So I challenge you this. Change the world you live in. Dream. Wake up. Live. And make the most of your life. Thank you.
And next up, is Destiny McComber. Did I pronounce that right? Yes. And Destiny is from Buckley Air Force Base.
What do you see when you look in a mirror? Beyond just our reflections, we often see the negativities that life and society gave us. Let me tell you what I saw in the mirror 3 years ago. I saw a girl who was an outcast, a nobody, who struggled with depression, anxiety, and who lacked confidence in her own body. I had been broken down by bullies, the hardships of being a military child, and simply by feeling that I didn't have a place or a purpose. It was like I was alive, but I wasn't living. But what I didn't realize was a fighter lurking underneath all these negativities. That is, until I walked through the doors of the Boys and Girls Club of Buckley Air Force Base. My first experience was a camping trip to the mountains with a bunch of strangers. But, unbeknownst to me, this would open a door full of possibilities. What started out as a place to just do my homework led me to finding friends, adventures, and even a leadership role in our Keystone Club. My peers became my first true friends I ever had, and the staff became my motivators. I found an ally in Miss Autumn, who taught me to not only love myself, but to help me shatter the mirror that I'd confined myself to for so long. It was like I finally had found my place and purpose. I found a place where the staff and the youth showed me my true potential that I never knew I had. I excelled in Keystone, first becoming treasurer and then vice president, and I helped lead several community service projects. And thus, I found a purpose. I found in myself a leader. I realized my passion for fighting for equality and equity in my community. I found in myself a social justice warrior. While often taken as a mantra, Gandhi's quote, "Be the change you wish to see in the world," is rarely followed through. In my eyes, change is constantly talked about and ideas are floated around, but nothing seems to be done. I believe that we as youth need to push the boundaries that great leaders like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. pushed before us. For equality to be achieved and social justice to succeed, we must stop shying away from our differences, but rather learn to accept and even celebrate them. My club gave me confidence to not only stand up here as an advocate, but to be ambitious, driven, and passionate about these topics. So let me tell you what I see in the mirror today. I see a leader, an ally, and a warrior. I see a woman who is empathetic and passionate and resilient. I see in myself, Destiny McComber, someone who is full of life, is overcome all these difficulties and differences and hoping to help others do the same. I see myself as the change. Thank you.
Okay, next up, how about Addison Bright? Addison is from Boys and Girls Clubs of Chaffee County in Salida.
Just keep swimming. You'll figure it out. That's what my swim coach Wendy likes to tell me. Life will always present challenges, but you've got to push through them. Keep swimming. I've never been a shy kid. I like jumping right in. So naturally, when I was 6, I followed my older sister Ainsley to the Boys and Girls Club. I remember how much I loved the staff, especially Miss Ginny. She welcomed me in. I remember thinking, I got this. I feel good here. Now I'm the one welcoming kids in, helping them, and that feels even better. One of the kids I help at the club is Ashley. She has some real challenges and she's shy. She needs a lot of help. But at first, she didn't want to talk to me. Actually, she barely says a word to anyone. The first day I worked with her, I just watched her climb on the play structure outside and encouraged her. But the next day, she approached me. She asked me to help her with her reading. I'll never forget the book she picked, The Fuzzy Duckling, a classic. We sat with our backs turned to the other kids so she would not be embarrassed by her struggles. When she finished, she gave me a big smile, her first. I was smiling too. My mom and dad have always been there for me, and they're teachers at my school, so really, they're always there. Imagine this. Your parents have direct access to the school portal, your attendance, if you're tardy, every report. Sometimes they would know I was in trouble before I knew I was in trouble. Sometimes kids think, oh, Addison, she gets all A's because her parents give her all A's. But I don't worry about what they think anymore. I know who I am, I put the work in, and it pays off. I want to thank my mom and dad. They've always challenged me because they care. I'm lucky. I'm independent, but there are so many people who have helped me along the way. In kindergarten, I started riding my bike to school, and in some ways, I never looked back. We all grow up, and people like my parents, the club staff, and my coaches, they all showed me the value of hard work. I think my hard work gives me more time to dream big. My dream now is to attend one of the surface academies, hopefully the Air Force or Naval Academy. I want to major in aerospace engineering wherever I go. People always say, oh, Addie, you want to fly. No, I want to build. Yes, I want to build things that fly. If we think about the present and be present, things will work out. I'll never forget a swim meet from last year. I was so nervous, and at first, I was thinking about all the things that could go wrong. I could hear Coach Wendy yelling, and when I hit the wall, I thought I was in last place. But then I saw the scoreboard with my name and a number 1 next to it. I'd cut 5 seconds. It was my best time ever, state cut. I want to be the girl who isn't afraid of science and engineering. I want other girls to follow me. Because I'm not afraid, you shouldn't be either. Just keep swimming. Thank you.
Okay. Next up is Mr. Malachi Haynes from Boys and Girls Clubs of Metro Denver and the Betcher Club in Aurora.
I have to get on my tippy toes on this shit. All right. Okay. Can you guys hear me? Okay. Trying to fit the impact the Boys and Girls Club has had on my life over the last 12 years into a 3-minute speech is harder than telling children Santa Claus isn't real, or trying to teach my mother how to set up her new iPhone. All joking aside, the club is more than just my second home. It's my purpose. I didn't recognize this until recently, but I knew I'd found my purpose when I created a program for club members to improve their reading and their comprehension skills. I had noticed that some of the kids in my club were consistently reading 2 to 3 levels below the current grade level. Even more troubling to me was their lack of motivation around reading. A close friend and I began tutoring and mentoring 5 kids on a weekly basis, promising them an hour of physical activity in return for an hour of reading and studying. Every member who participated in the program improved their literacy level, and they began to look to us for guidance beyond reading. Becoming a role model to those kids, watching them transform from unmotivated to being excited about reading, seeing them flourish, and recognizing the potential in other club members filled me with a sense of accomplishment and inspired my vision for America's youth. My vision is for young people to seek out positive role models who can help them develop the skills to become the leaders of future generations. Seeking this kind of guidance in my own life, from my family, older friends, and club staff, helped me build self-confidence and shape my personal brand. Hard work is at the heart of my brand and everything I do. I'm currently enrolled in the International Baccalaureate program at my high school, taking college-level courses and maintaining a 3.76 GPA. In the fall, I plan to attend the University of Michigan and pursue a degree in kinesiology. I'm told this major might be as challenging as teaching my mom how to use her iPhone, but it'll be worth it when I graduate and become a sports medicine physician. Leadership and perseverance are 2 other important components of my personal brand. Being involved in Keystone, a team leadership club, working as a junior staff and a peer leader, and coaching various athletic teams have enhanced my leadership abilities and strengthened my determination to succeed. Buddha once said, "Your purpose in life is to find your purpose and give your whole heart and soul to it." By striving every day to live up the principles of my brand at the club and beyond, I became a role model to younger kids and discovered my purpose. The Boys and Girls Club is to me what basketball is to Michael Jordan. It's what swimming is to Michael Phelps. It's what running is to Usain Bolt and what peace was to Mahatma Gandhi. Being a leader and a role model in my community is my purpose, and it's what I'll be doing for the rest of my life, giving my heart and soul to the Boys and Girls Club.
So next up is Jacob Kinsey. Jacob is from the U.S. Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs. Give him a round of applause.
Oh, sorry. I'm gonna adjust this. Sorry. Actually, I'm gonna adjust this. So, all right. Does that sound good?
Yep.
All right. Sounds good. Us military brats have a saying, and it says that our home is nowhere, but our friends are everywhere. And this quote is very significant to me because we move very frequently, but our friends could be on the East Coast, maybe West Coast, or even overseas. And although we move very frequently, we have friends everywhere, and although we have friends everywhere and we move so often, although we move so often, we have friends everywhere, and our home is nowhere. So that oh my God. Sorry. Nowadays, most kids are in their first year of high school, and they think it's hard making new friends. And it is, but imagine going to 3 different high schools and starting freshman year, making new friends, and then having to leave, and then sophomore year having to make new friends and then leave, and junior year all over again. But as a military dependent, I've learned to become resilient and overcome these hardships and to face challenges head on and not be afraid to make new friends and put myself out there. And just when I thought when I wasn't going to fit in or make any friends, a light shined in and a hand reached out, and that hand was the Boys and Girls Club of USAFA, or United States Air Force Academy. And the USAFA Boys and Girls Club gave me the opportunity to meet new friends at my new high school and seek leadership roles at the club. And at the club, so my friends and I, the new friends that I met from the youth center at the high school, we started the first ever Keystone Club at our youth center. And that was crazy because it's the first ever, and my friends and I, the new friends and I, came up with the idea. And I got the opportunity to run as president. And I ran against my friend JJ, but I had to put friendship aside and put business first. And luckily I won, and I got the opportunity to take that role. And I'm the first ever Keystone president at USAFA, so no one else in the world could say that but me. And I'm so humbled and grateful to be able to say that. And I'll leave you all with a quote by Nelson Mandela. The greatest glory in life lies not in ever falling, but rising every time we fall. Thank you.
Okay, and next up is Brent. Brent Knight, and Brent is from Boys and Girls Clubs of Pikes Peak in Colorado Springs.
What does it mean when someone tells me that I talk like I'm white? How can a person who is white be more black than I am? What do you do when someone calls you an Oreo, black on the outside and white on the inside? These are a few comments that I hear from my peers and friends. Being black does not define how I act or speak, and does not give anyone the right to assume who I am or am not. I am a second-generation club kid. My dad was a member growing up and said he wouldn't be the man he is today without the club. A contributing citizen, and in turn, an amazing dad. He made sure that I was a member, and for the past 10 years, the club has been my safe place and second home. The club staff have played an essential role in my upbringing. Miss Drace taught me about the work before play mentality. Miss Kelly about being a leader and giving back to my community, and Mr. Zach about the importance of being a team player. Last year, I didn't win the local Youth of the Year competition because I was told that I was too polished. I am proud of who I'm becoming because I'm a direct result of what it means to be Boys and Girls Club made. From the beginning, I made the right decisions, and that doesn't make me any less deserving of this opportunity. With the support of my club and family, my story is one of success. I could have been on the streets, succumbed to peer pressure, or used drugs, but instead, I'm excelling in school with a 4.33 GPA. I'm a member of National Honor Society, Keystone Secretary, I have earned awards in soccer and basketball, and I live a drug and alcohol-free life. As National Youth of the Year, I will become BGC's greatest advocate. More importantly, I will share my vision for America's youth to unite as one, regardless of our differences. For youth to not judge others based on race, personal background, or socioeconomic status, but instead by their personality and the intentions of their heart. To paraphrase the great Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., judge by the content of their character. We all represent something. Ask yourself, what do you represent? I can be described in many ways. One, being the Energizer Bunny who never quits and gives up, or a self-sacrificing person who puts his family and friends above himself. Truthfully, I am all of these things. However, I am always changing and evolving, and my personality might shift a bit as I grow, but I will always be the best possible me. The Boys and Girls Club has been there to support and guide me in becoming the man I am today. So, when I am told that I am too polished, I say thank you to my Boys and Girls Club and hold my head high. I am a strong leader, a person who serves and helps his community, and one who is pursuing his destiny of becoming an aerospace engineer. I know that with the help of my Boys and Girls Club, nothing can stop me. Thank you.
Hard to clap. Okay. Next up, we have Mr. Dominic Sandoval from Boys and Girls Clubs of Larimer County in Loveland, Colorado.
The Boys and Girls Club gave the opportunity for an 8-year-old boy and his little sister to be part of something truly extraordinary. Even though I had busy parents, I still had my family at the Boys and Girls Club to support me, and I can say with no doubt that it changed my life for the better. My name is Dominic Alexander Sandoval, and I've been a member of my club, the Loveland Polium Unit, for 10 years. My role models for discipline and hard work are my parents. My mom needed to sleep all day because of her extensive night shifts, and Dad's double shifts and construction jobs made it so my little sister and I needed a place to go to after school. I had changed schools 3 times in kindergarten alone. I was shy and never had a chance to build lasting friendships. But once I started attending the club, I immediately began to come out of my shell. The club taught me how to eat healthy and how to maintain a healthy lifestyle by doing plenty of exercise. And in between all the fun was work and dedication to school, which my parents unfortunately wanted me to do. But fortunately for me, there are multiple educational programs at the club where staff can help you with everything from simple division to college applications. This was especially impactful for me since English is my second language. But with my tenacity, I hold a 3.7 GPA. I'm part of the National Honor Society, AP classes, and I will graduate with an honors diploma and a seal of biliteracy. The club has also brought me to one of my major passions outside of school, my community. With my club, I've been able to participate in things like Project Linus, help prepare care packages for the homeless, and even replant necessary vegetation after the flood of 2013. The club has also brought me to city council meetings, club board meetings, and even to my state's capital to see legislators. Through this, I've realized that to make a greater impact on my community, I would like to major in political science and business so that I may be a part of my local government. I hope to use this Youth of the Year opportunity as a platform to achieve my vision for America's youth. Before goals are strived for, before achievements are met, before any dream is made, a healthy environment needs to be provided to every boy and girl in the nation. According to the USDA, 6.5 million children were food insecure in 2016. My vision for America's youth is one where all children and their families will not have to worry about where their next meal is coming from, by helping to connect food banks with schools, Boys and Girls Clubs, and other community sites. In order for these children and their families to overcome their circumstances, it is necessary that these same communities provide programs that support education, healthy lifestyle, as well as music and arts-based activities. This would allow for a deeper development of America's youth and their dreams. These tasks are not easy, but they are possible. with and only by the caring people in every community and their respective officials. And as I approach the end of my time as a member of the Boys and Girls Club, I would like to thank the club for providing a place with positive influences and people, but more importantly, a place where an 8-year-old boy could grow into an intelligent, community-minded individual with big goals for the future. My name is Dominic Alexander Sandoval, member number 1693. Thank you.
Okay, next up is Miss Danielle Morris. Danielle is from Boys and Girls Clubs of Northwest Colorado in Steamboat Springs.
The Steamboat Springs Boys and Girls Club has taught me many things. Above all, my club has taught me to be brave. Before I went to the BGC, I was a mousy and timid girl who didn't know how to interact with others or socialize. As a kid, I spent the majority of my time at home by myself. In the summer of 2009, my prayers were answered with the opening of the BGC. I became a member and started attending almost every day that I could. I found joy in my club because I was able to do so many fun activities. I also began making friends. My 3 favorite programs were Miss Manners, Jazzy Jumpers, and Tech Time. With those programs and the people in my club, I was able to build up my confidence and social skills, but I still struggled to stand up for myself. After a year during the club, there was a boy who bothered me a lot. He would tease me and call me names, and this went on what seemed like forever, and I didn't tell on him or tell the BGC staff. Then one day, I had enough of his constant bullying and decided to do something about it. I asked him, "Why are you so mean to me?" And he responded with, "Because I'm allergic to black people." This was my breaking point. I held myself together as best as a 9-year-old could and finally told a BGC staff. He got in trouble, but continued to bother me, and I continued to tell on him. As I look back now, this part of my life reminds me of the quote by the Buddha that says holding on to anger is like drinking poison, yet expecting the other person to die. I was unfortunately drinking that poison, expecting that the other kid would be as miserable as I felt. Years went by, and I didn't see the bully anymore. Then one day I saw him again, and all the memories came flooding back. This time, though, I wasn't afraid. My club taught me to confront my problem, so I went up to him and said, "Hi." To my surprise, he apologized for what he said, and I couldn't help but to apologize and admit that I had my faults as well. I felt a weight lift from my heart, and we were able to form a friendship. My club has helped me grow into a straightforward, thoughtful, persistent, kind, caring young woman. To this day, I teach younger members that staying angry at someone does not solve their problems. I encourage them to talk to the peers that they may not get along with. It makes me proud when the kids come up to me asking for ways to solve their problems. My brand and vision for the youth of America is to be brave. When kids are brave, they problem solve, they think before they ask for help when they need it, and they build up their confidence. My club has inspired me to go to college and pursue a career in youth psychology. I want others to feel brave and proud of themselves when they learn to confront their problems like I did. Thank you.
Next up is Miss Emma Braggins, and Emma is from Boys and Girls Clubs of the Rocky Mountains in South Park, Colorado.
Follow your passion. It will lead to your purpose. This quote from Oprah Winfrey caught my attention because it has summed up what the Boys and Girls Club has done for me and how it has helped me find my passions. All because of the club, I have realized that I am passionate for people. Whether it be helping others or just being around them, I love sharing my knowledge and experiences. The Boys and Girls Club has always been a part of my life ever since I was young. It started out as just a place for me to go while my parents went to work, but they didn't realize what a blast I had. From that point on, it grew into something much more. My experiences have taught me so much about myself and others. My favorite program from the club was high-altitude hiking. Mr. Lubin, a teacher from our school, volunteered to take the teens on hikes up the surrounding 14ers. I was just 12 when I started with this program, and one can imagine hiking up these steep and rocky slopes at these elevations was no easy task. But thanks to Mr. Lubin, he taught me to overcome my challenges and face my fears. That summer, I really learned what it meant to persevere and succeed, whether it be summiting a 14er or being able to solve any problem that life throws at me. Thanks to Mr. Lubin, he led for other outdoor expeditions in the club. Helping others has always been a passion of mine, and I wanted to take my hiking knowledge and experiences and be able to pay it forward. As I'm currently a junior staff member at the club, and one of my roles as staff was to accompany some of the younger teens on hiking trips of their own. On our journey, we had ups and downs of our own, but I got to share some of the words of wisdom Mr. Lubin gave to me, and I hope that I have impacted their lives like he impacted mine. The Boys and Girls Club has helped me discover who I am as a human being. I like to look at life in a more glass half full kind of way and not take anything in life for granted. Working at the club, we are faced with many unusual and challenging issues, but working with the kids, I have realized that everyone is different and we need to look at the kids in a more positive manner. Don't judge a book by its cover. Every soul has good in them, and as a society, we need to do a better job at finding that quality in those people and help them find their true colors. I hope that my impact on kids, not just at the club, but across the nation, will help them find their true colors. Thank you.
Okay, and our last but certainly not least, two more. Sorry, I'm going through my notes here. So Taylor is next, Taylor Morris. Taylor is from Boys and Girls Clubs of La Plata County in Durango.
Be fearless in the pursuit of what sets your soul on fire. Throughout my life, I found it is always important to stand true to my beliefs and to allow my passions to fuel the pursuit of my goals. The Boys and Girls Club is the place I was first exposed to all of my passions. The club was the first place I ever played a sport, starting with basketball and t-ball at 5 years old. This set me up to be a 3-sport varsity athlete all 4 years of high school. The club was also a place I was able to thrive in my love for learning, leading me to win my very first spelling bee at the club. The reaction that my peers had to my wins showed me that it was okay to be smart and that it was cool even. This boost of confidence is something that has guided me all through school and that has pushed me to pursue my love of learning new things. As I grew older, the club became a place where I could really explore who I wanted to be. It was a place where I never felt judged, and a place where staff really motivated me and made me feel like I could do anything. In middle and high school, I became more involved in the club as a leader, as someone staff could turn to. This made me feel like I could do anything, like I was needed, and this trust made me feel so special, in a time when I didn't always feel accepted. Later on, I became a leader and training volunteer at my club, helping me to find my next passion, working with kids. Those kids made me feel so loved, so important, and all I wanted was to do the same for them. This experience led me to foster my caring personality, leading me to look for more opportunities to help my community. I've been able to do so, for example, by integrating my love for sports and service by coaching as a Special Olympics basketball coach and a Dream League softball coach. I've also been able to integrate my love for learning by serving as a reading partners tutor and helping a child raise their reading level 92% in 1 year. These experiences have helped me to discover how much I truly love helping others, specifically kids, and my passion for science has ultimately led me to pursue a career in pediatric oncology. It hasn't always been easy growing up in a small rural town where there are little opportunities. However, the club was always there for me, helping me to find opportunities outside of my small community. At a young age, I discovered a passion for science. Unfortunately, there were no opportunities in my town to pursue this. Thankfully, the club was there to help me find opportunities outside of my small town. The club helped me to get into the Colorado Rural Health Scholars Program, a program centered around attending this program to help kids from rural areas work towards their goal of working in healthcare. The club also helped me to get into the Frontiers of Science Institute, a program centered around the STEM field where I was able to do research at the University of Northern Colorado. Thanks to this institute, I am now published in my research of the optimization of the immunohistochemistry of an estrogen receptor positive cell line. The club has also connected me with the Rise Above Colorado campaign, a statewide anti-drug campaign, and I became a member of the Rise Above Colorado Teen Advisory Council. Through this council, I have led anti-drug campaigns at my high school and fought marijuana use within my town. It is thanks to the Boys and Girls Club of La Plata County that I am now on a path towards a great future. The club staff and my club members have always been there for me, building me up, helping me to build up my confidence, and ultimately guiding me as I can now say I am fearless in the pursuit of what sets my soul on fire. Thank you.
Okay, now not last but not least, is Brianna Martinez. And Brianna is from Boys and Girls Clubs of Pueblo County in Pueblo.
Can everyone hear me?
Actually, how about if I just do this so they can see you?
Thanks.
Sound good?
Yeah. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay. One of my favorite authors once said, "Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better." It's not. Throughout my life, I developed many characteristics which makes me hold myself to such a strong standard. What I want to be known for is having strong family values, strong cultural beliefs, being an optimist about my future, and most importantly, being a passionate and selfless young woman. When I was younger, I was always much smaller than my peers. I was shy. I stood by myself. As I grew older, I did make friends. However, I did experience bullying because I had a fear of confrontation and was always scared of retaliation. So I learned how to hide my pain so others wouldn't know I was hurting. But that all changed when I entered the vibrant blue doors of the Boys and Girls Club of Pueblo County 12 years ago. The club was my safe place where I interacted with the world's most welcoming individuals, loving and compassionate members, and was given numerous opportunities where I could freely express myself. With being a member for 12 years, I was introduced to such a broad range of programs which helped me generate my life skills. The club was the first place that taught me how to look at the bigger picture, how to look at life for the first time, and also guided me through the world's most challenging time in my life, middle school. I remember graduating 5th grade and being so scared to move on to middle school. But that summer, the club introduced a new dropout prevention program through a sports team. And I thought that the 4'11", uncoordinated girl who never once played sports can be the athlete that I once aspired to be. There were 2 teams. I knew the competitive team was where I wanted to be. I learned so much from my girls for the first 3 years, how to build my strength both mentally and physically. The last game of my 8th grade year, we lost in championship game. However, I was surprised to know that the coaches of the league had voted for me to be the best defensive player of the league. Who would have known that the small, shy, timid, uncoordinated, never once played sports girl would win the biggest award of the night? I felt so empowered. I knew in order to keep my success going and my experience going that I wanted to come back to the club, be a mentor for the kids, and to be a coach for the new recruits. My journey continued on as a freshman. I tried out for the varsity cheer squad. As of now, I have cheered 4 years varsity, and I am now the captain. If it wasn't for my newfound strength, I don't think I would have tried out for the team. Peer pressure for kids is hard at any age. Having the constant pressure to feel like you are going to gain acceptance feels like it never go away. During my years of volleyball as a team, we, however, witnessed drug and alcohol abuse, domestic violence, evictions, death of parents, and suicide. I plan to use my Youth of the Year involvement to be the voice for girls and everyone who was once like me. It's like Denzel Washington once said, it's not about who you are or what you even have accomplished. It's about who you help and who you help grow. Thank you.
Well, judges, you have your work cut out for you. Yes? I'll let you finish taking the last of your notes. And if I can have everybody just give our finalists a round of applause. I'm very proud of each and every one of you. I can't even get through introductions without notes, and you all came up here and you opened yourselves up and shared and stayed on time and are just amazing young people. So thank you for sharing your stories. Judges, does anyone need another moment? No? You're good? Then what I think we're going to do, one of the things that we always do, a tradition here, is to have a group picture. All of our judges, along with our young people, will do that, and then we'll disperse and go into our respective rooms, and the young people will go into the group room.